Hey everybody, I just uploaded another video right before recording this one comparing the Lancer Evolution 9 with the 3.8 liter V8 to this car, the 911 Carrera GTS. I really do prefer just the standard GTS over the Cabriolet or the Targa. It seems to really handle better. I'm not sure why the handling is that much better. Guess you could say the added rigidity of having a roof would help with that. I did some testing and I found that the 3.8 liter V8 is the best engine for this car. It just barely edges out that 3.8 liter flat six. They're both really good engines. You're really not going to go wrong. But the 3.8 liter V8 is my favorite engine for this car. And honestly, it's one of my favorite engines across any cars for any of the game. And it can actually go in quite a few different cars. So I'd recommend picking up one or two of them just to see if you've got cars that it can swap into. We're going to grab this car, we're going to go back to Sonic, which is my most played track, probably my favorite track in the game, and it's also great for making money. So we're going to head that direction. This is with zero warm-up on this car. I have run Sonic a few times today on that Evo, but we're going to go over here, we're going to see what type of a lap time I can set. 2:54.23 is my fastest lap time with this car on that race. And we're just going to see how we do, just to compare and contrast between this and that Evo. I do actually also have that fastest lap time. That is uploaded. That's in my channel if anybody wants to check that out. There's no commentary, it's just straight up the race. That was mostly just me doing time trials and speed tests for my own benefit, and wasn't really planning on publishing it, but wanted to upload an example of what I consider to be a clean run, and the one that I recorded just happened to be the quickest run. Off the line, the Evo does beat this, but this thing really takes the Evo in the corners. First boost point right there. Don't usually hit those barriers, so usually if anything I hit the far ones, but I was being overcautious and screwed up a little bit. Man, driving this car feels like coming home, I'll tell you what. That Evo definitely accelerates well, however, it really doesn't take the corners nearly as well. The Carrera GTS can take a lot of these corners just with grip. There's very, very few corners in this race that the Carrera GTS has to do a brake and then drift. Most of the corners it can do just a straight up drift, or like that one, buttery smooth just with grip. This car really is probably my favorite in the game. I know that it's not the fastest. There's a lot of cars that can beat it, especially in the hypercar category. But really, this thing stands up to the hypercars pretty well. I have beaten a few of them, beaten a few RSRs. It's generally due to driver error, or maybe just me knowing the track better. Second boost point right there. But even if they don't know the track as well, the RSR still puts up a really good fight. It's one of those cars where if you put it in the hands of a pro player, somebody who really knows what they're doing, they're going to win every single time. There's really no challenge in driving the RSR, which is why I like to test out other cars like this one and find something else that I enjoy driving, that I can have fun with, that can still be somewhat competitive. And this one really does fit that bill. A lot of people don't like the mod options for this car. There really aren't any. That said, I generally keep my cars pretty stock. If anything, I'll play with decals or paints or wraps, but mostly I leave my cars pretty darn close to bone stock. this one's no exception. I really just painted it black, put a couple of different bumper options on it and everything. I don't really like the big wings or anything like that. Just my personal preference. 254.85, so that still puts it in my top 4 of all time with this car on this track. I think if I hadn't hit those barricades right at that first corner, that probably would have been just as fast, if not faster, than my fastest time. And hopefully you can see I had quite a bit more control on this car versus with the Evo, if you watch that video. Again, that's uploading right now. But yeah, thank you again to everybody who watched this all the way through. Hopefully my mic was a little bit clearer. The Evo video, the mic was a bit muddy, so I did play with my mic settings a little bit before recording this one. And everybody, I hope you have a great day. And again, thanks again.